Lucy Thomas dazzled crowds with her wonderful voice on The Voice Kids UK, causing spectators to ponder how far this gifted young vocalist might go. After taking up the show's spotlight, her career took off when she released successful albums, becoming well known for her heartfelt covers and winning people over all across the world. But then, unexpectedly, Lucy seriously endangered by what has been taking place since those startling allegations in her life. Stay with us so you can learn the truth. Have faith in what we discover, that The Voice Kids UK is more than just. It's more than just a singing competition, where up-and-coming vocalists take the stage, take center stage, and pour out their every note has hearts in it for many. Their initial opportunity to demonstrate. The judges don't see what they can do. When they sing, they pay attention first whether. If the judge is pleased with what they hear, they press. Their chair spins when a button is pressed. A single event can alter everything for the contestant, each youngster who enters. There is a story on the stage. Some have been singing all of their lives, yet some are only now finding their voices. Are assured, but others are anxious. However, as the music begins, all of that. The song, the blind audition, is important. Are tense and full of excitement. Backstage, families wait in anticipation of a chair to rotate if the room bursts with applause if it doesn't. Tears are shed, yet there are also words of encouragement. Children learn from the show that failures are not the same as setbacks, they are just a component of The Voice Kids UK's journey. It is about more than just singing. Enjoying the music. Some performances are lively and enjoyable, capturing the audience's attention. Others are dancing in their seats, bringing judges to tears on an emotional level. Every a song tells a tale, and each competitor makes an impression. The program is a combination of happiness and pain. There are times when sheer joy when a young vocalist performs a chair turn and hears the ideal note. However, there are other times when disheartenment when a competitor gives. Despite their best efforts, they are still not selected. Each child leaves with a greater understanding of they were brave enough to walk on that stage. The famous coaches aren't merely they are there to mentor and to listen. Over time, celebrities such as Danny Jones, the Pixie Lot, Jessie J, and will have assisted young singers get better at what they do, but they don't simply choose the best voices, they offer guidance and instruct. After the groups are established, the contest gets more competitive. Rounds, competitors sing against one another. Although it's intense, the judges provide assistance. The best singers remain focused. On to the championship round, where they fight for. The coaches don't merely push for the title. They assist their contestants in winning. Flourish by of them guidance that will endure long after the show concludes. With them, show is more than just learning about the empowering the next big singer. Kids to have confidence in themselves. Regardless of a contestant's victory, they depart with insightful knowledge in bravery, tenacity, and individuality. Some leave with memories, but others enter a completely different life. Today, we present to you a young singer's story, whose experience on UK's The Voice Kids didn't simply conclude with the performance, but just the start of something extraordinary. In 2018, a young Wigan Lancashire girl appeared on The Voice Kids UK stage, prepared to fulfill her aspirations at. Lucy Thomas, just 13 years old, had already cultivated a strong voice that could occupy a space, but she didn't. Was aware that this particular performance would alter her life forever, her spotlight. When she finally stepped onto the stage to perform a famous song by Moon River, that demonstrated her extraordinary talent. Lucy's voice from the first note appeared to take on an independent life, flowing gracefully and exquisitely. The audience tumbled across the music, quiet, mesmerized by the innocence, and Lucy's voice was strong as she sang with a feeling as though each word had something that is really personal to her. The act was so poignant that it moved several people to tears. Viewers, and shortly after, one of the coaches hit their button, indicating their desire to have her join their team. Her rendition of Moon River was among those few singing occasions. Competition that caused you to pause anything and simply pay attention. It wasn't only regarding the technical ability, yet she was quite good at that. It was about the sentiment she expressed, was the type of performance that gave you the impression that we are seeing something unique, yet her singing wasn't the only thing that was noteworthy. Because of her, Lucy had a peaceful assurance that immediately made her liked. It didn't take long for the judges to. They were all captivated by her and turned their chairs in order to acquire her for their group. Lucy's performance did more than simply portray. It caught the judges' attention, the nation's hearts. After she finished singing those first few rites, householders could sense the magic. A little girl was visible to them with extraordinary potential who possessed something special to provide. It was evident that Lucy was not only another competitor. She was destined to become a sensation after her. Lucy's amazing blind audition adventure. Voice Kids UK was just getting started. She was chosen by one of the Pixie lot coaches who were clearly influenced by Lucy's amazing vocal prowess from the. Initially, it was evident that Pixie observed Lucy possessed something remarkable. The capacity to succeed in the competition, but like any singing competition, the path to achievement wasn't going to be simple. During the next few weeks, Lucy completed the fighting rounds, where she was compared to other. There was pressure on the talented competitors. This required her to sing her heart out once more, spending time with other talented children, all under the guidance of Pixie. The pressure to outperform others. There were many gifted kids, but Lucy confronted it with a composed resolve that won over the audience and her instructor. Her maturity, professionalism, and enthusiasm for singing were evident in each performance. One of the highlights. Lucy's voyage took place during the live demonstrates how the competition reduced the stakes increased, and the strain on Lucy expanded, but rather than collapsing under, she kept shining with the weight of each. She enthralled her every time she performed. Audience, her voice could not be denied, and her charisma on stage was captivating. Was telling a story, not just singing. Narrative, giving each performance a unique feel. Lucy's confidence increased with each note. You could see how she had changed. Not only as a vocalist but also as an individual. The girl who entered the stage initially felt anxious, had now become a performer with grace and confidence, prepared to face any challenge the competition presented. Her path as Lucy approached the intensity increased in the semi-finals. There was intense competition, and each performance in which she was demonstrating her of the most formidable competitors in the semi-finals, Lucy gave one of her most noteworthy performances of the. Throughout the season, she faced a difficult song, putting all of its heart onto it, leaving the audience speechless. The semi-finals were a crucial stage. The location were the remainder. The competitors had to exert themselves. More difficult than before, and Lucy didn't suppress her voice, it was louder, stronger and more self-assured than it had been in the competition previously with. It was evident from each note that Lucy was not. She was more than just a competitor, she was a force to be taken seriously, even though Lucy didn't win the contest she had already entered. Won over millions of hearts with her. The Voice Kids UK's performances had demonstrated to the world her destiny. She might not have taken the leap for greatness, the title at home, but she had earned anything far more significant: love and public acclaim for a location in everyone's hearts who had been fortunate enough to hear her perform the adventure that started with her. A memorable performance of Moon River continued after she departed the show. Lucy Thomas had established herself as a celebrity. Then she began appearing on Voice Kids UK openings that would take her to larger phases. Her accomplishments caused a surge of curiosity that makes everyone want to find out more about Lucy's story. Thomas. On February 21, 2004, Lucy was born into a tight-knit household that appreciated inventiveness and expression of oneself from an early age. Her parents were aware of her passion for music. Although they weren't paid musicians, they saw her ability and created certain that she had every chance to examine it. Music was a constant in whether they were performing in the background or as Lucy sings it herself. It became a part of her everyday routine life. She was encouraged to sing by her parents at family get-togethers and school functions. Additionally, they noticed that her voice had something unique, something that goes beyond simply a childhood pastime that she supported loved ones. She began to take music more seriously. She listened to various genres that have been refined and practiced continuously. Her ability to sing at school concerts became her very first stage, whether it was at a school concert or a talent show. Lucy's voice never failed to enthrall those who paid attention to her instructors, and her skill was immediately acknowledged by her classmates. She was not only another pupil who loved to sing, she had a talent for it. Performer who has the capacity to something remarkable. By the age of 13, Lucy had constructed sufficient self-assurance to pursue a larger dream after learning that there would be auditions for. She recognized this as herself from the Voice Kids UK. Chance is among the most significant individuals. Lucy's younger sister is a part of her trip. The two sisters, Martha Thomas, have a solid connection, not only as a family but also. Martha is a musical partner as well as the gifted vocalist has collaborated with Lucy on several times. Their voices mix exquisitely to produce harmonics that display their inherent chemistry. Their cooperation grew more well known following Lucy's performance on the Voice Kids UK collaborated to record renditions of popular tunes that they shared online, and fans fell in love right away. Along with their duets as siblings and Martha's involvement in Lucy's musical career, more richness and warmth after Lucy's triumph on Voice Kids UK. Thomas took her further than that. Ability that goes above and beyond the competition. Into the realm of performing professionally. Lucy's rich emotional range and beautiful voice attracted the interest of Kendish Records, a label that promotes classical, crossover and up-to-date singers. In 2019, at the age of 15, she signed with the official label, identifying the beginning of her career as a professional musician. This was a turning point that no longer Lucy, who was now vying for votes, had the opportunity to compose music according to her own terms. Lucy made her debut in the same year. Album premiere. Her performance on the album was timeless classics in distinctive style, reimagined with her expressive and pure personality. Vocals for songs such as Somewhere from West Side, Mulan's Story and Reflection emphasized her capacity for blending traditional method with intense feeling. Wasn't merely a record, it was her presentation of the world as a serious recording artist. Premiere's release demonstrated that Lucy's voice was more than just intended for contests. It was created for something bigger. Both new and old fans accepted the record, and her standing as a rising star expanded as a result of Lucy. The premiere didn't spend any time in 2020, she returned to the studio, released Encore, her second album, appropriate term that indicated her development, self-assurance and aspirations. This album included even more cherished oldies, Amazing Hallelujah and Reminiscence from Cats. Lucy published her third album in 2021. Timeless, her album, solidified her position as an exceptional vocalist on this album, elevated her artistic abilities to new levels, featuring breathtakingly gorgeous covers of songs such as The Way We Were and Lucy. By 2022, I Will Always Love You was no longer merely performing songs from the past. She was forming her own musical persona. Destiny's fourth album included a variety of cherished norms and more in-depth individual choices for every release. Her fan base developed along with her confidence. Now, millions of people were listening to her songs globally, and her online presence, similar to YouTube. Covers like You Raise Me Up are growing, and Unchained Melody became well known, presenting her voice to a worldwide audience. Lucy's fifth album was released in 2023. Beyond an album title that aptly recorded her travels, she had made great progress during her time competing on the Voice Kids UK. This record included a number of one of her most ambitious roles to date, encompassing The Prayer and Above the as Lucy Thomas made the shift into one performance by a recording artist. Won hearts all around the world, which helped her to become virally famous and demonstrate that her voice was meant to be more. Numerous covers have been made of. Thankfully, Lucy's performance was something distinct from the first. Observe that her voice had a unique combination of intensive cleaning and purity control feeling rather than just singing the. With every syllable of the song, she narrated a story, transporting listeners to a beautiful planet and reflection of her strong but fragile performance gave the song a new feel and intensely intimate, in contrast to many vocalists who emphasized technical skill. Lucy's the focus of her approach was emotion. Let the lyrics come easily, making a performance that seemed grand but intimate. It wasn't simply. It was an adventure. Another cover. The response was enormous and came right away. The footage was swiftly uploaded to YouTube, gained popularity, accumulating millions of views in just a few months, and as of right now, it has exceeded 35 million views, an incredible number that keeps increasing. Fans from Comments poured in from all over the world, praising her and describing how her voice has reduced them to tears or made them tranquility at trying circumstances. What made this? What was even more important was how it broadened her appeal beyond herself. Current following, even though many people knew her from her albums or The Voice Kids UK. This performance went viral, introducing her to millions of people who were unaware of her. Previously, Lucy Thomas wasn't just a talented young vocalist, she was an worldwide renowned. The triumph of this cover did more than merely increase Lucy's exposure. It demonstrated that her songs had a broad appeal. People from various languages, cultures, and backgrounds listened to her voice. The strength of digital channels enabled her to performance to be broadcast worldwide, reaching potential listeners who may not have found her. But the viral moment also resulted in heightened involvement throughout her social media accounts. More people signed up for her YouTube account, watched her travels and waited impatiently. New releases. This spike in demand helped advance her subsequent albums, proving her to be a respected recording musician similar to Lucy, and the world was rejoicing in her ascent. Achievement as a surprising development left everyone stunned and transformed. Everything in a flash. News about Lucy's career taking off started saying that Lucy had been engaged in a fatal collision and was seriously hurt. The word got out, swiftly generating panic attacks and misunderstanding among her followers. The assertion started with a video on YouTube that went viral. Similar like wildfire, the video implied Lucy had experienced a serious mishap and was critically ill, yet the video provided little to no information. Evasive remarks on her wounds and the gravity of the circumstance. This absence of reliable information only increased the ambiguity, leaving fans to question if there was any validity to the assertion. As the video gained popularity, people panicked and started looking for additional information or verification from trustworthy sources, but regrettably, none arrived. Video swiftly rose to the top popular subjects that make many people think the worst without a formal declaration. It was difficult for anyone to understand what the response from Lucy's admirers was genuine, was impulsive and passionate. Her pages on social media were overflowing with concerned remarks from those who are having difficulties, while some admirers refused to comprehend the news, clinging to the hope that it was only one more fake, although others were overwhelmed with hopelessness with the idea of many people being harmed by their favorite performer. Social media was used by fans to convey their astonishment and worry. One fan wrote, "Tell me this isn't true, please. She is too talented and too young." Someone verified what's actually taking place while I just saw her last, someone else wrote. Yesterday's video, and now my heart is. I'm praying for her to get better. Despite their concern, others encouraged others to be. No official sources, the statement is cautious. People reporting this, and I believe it could be false information, but I sincerely hope she's alright. Amid all of this confusion, the most devoted followers started searching the internet, looking for some semblance of information that might provide insight into the circumstance. As the hours passed without, according to official reports, no word from the administration of Lucy's family or any other reliable source. Gradually, a feeling of Lucy's admirers started to realize This only constituted a rumor with no hard proof to back up the reports of the mishap. Several people started to put everything together and came to the conclusion that the whole narrative was falsely claimed, that Lucy didn't deal with the rumor right away, but her ongoing social media activity, sharing updates and new music, among other things. Fans, promptly allay your anxieties. At first anxious, they were relieved to see that Lucy was doing well and being safe. Her work as normal, but the relief was tinged with annoyance, for many said that they were offended by such a serious allegations had been let to proliferate. Without any confirmation at this time, Lucy is still actively constructing and executing her. Fans are looking forward to new music, with reports of a forthcoming single or album circulating over the internet due of her track reputation of producing impactful, meaningful anticipation regarding her future performance. There are many projects, whether they are new live musical performances or Lucy Thomas's partnerships, continue to become a well-known artist with perseverance. As Lucy's career keeps growing, she also appreciates the value of personal time and family. Recognized as a private person, she frequently offers snippets of her life outside of music, displaying her admirers her affection for family and close friends. Her close relationship with her loved ones has contributed to keeping her grounded in the hectic world of an artist. In the past few years, Lucy has furthermore concentrated on her studies and personal development in spite of her career's demands. She